mad that I have high standards as a single mom. Sir, did you not know how low my standards were when I was not a single mom? For example, when I was in a relationship with my ex-husband, when he proposed to me in his bedroom. Now that I think about it, I'm like, that is low standard shit. At that time, I was 21. I could care less. I love this man. That was red flag number one. Red flag number two is I posted my engagement ring on Facebook and tagged him so my friends and family can see. Tell me why his ex-girlfriend's friend comments on my picture and says, "Wasn't that your engagement ring?" And then they go back and forth in my comment section. When I tell you guys, I was livid. Like, I was this close to leaving this man, and I could have, but somehow he convinced me that that was not the ring. And then his grandmother stepped in and said that that was her ring, that she was trying to pass it down to the family. And then his mom stepped in later on and got me a ring just for me. Like, sir, if you didn't have the money to propose to me, to at least a ring that I liked from like Walmart or something, why propose to me at all? So when you are mad that single moms are not supposed to have high standards, no, we didn't have high standards before. And now that we have kids, of course we're going to have high standards.
But I think that's fair, right? People in the comment section being upset about something like that, saying before you didn't really have standards, probably what got you in the situation you are in now. I don't think we have a place, or we should have a place as men, to criticize people for what they want. You can do that, right? There's no point in us sort of. Better point. Has it ever been effective? Has it ever been effective trying to call someone out and tell them, "Hey, you're being delusional. Hey, the things that you want right now don't really make any sense." I think we're past the point of trying to reason with some people, because there's enough information out there to tell people kind of why there's a kickback when, or there's pushback whenever they talk about raising their bar, raising their standards, and having multiple children and multiple baby daddies. They're saying you can have whatever standard you want. You can believe anything that you want. But where your standard ends, my belief doesn't have to pick up right adjacent to that. You're fine to raise your level, raise your standard, and say, this is what I deserve. But like most things in a market, is a give and take. Market forces are going to tell you the truth of whatever statement you're trying to make. Whatever product you're trying to move, the market's going to tend to say this is the price you can set for it. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes the market is telling you you can push, and you can set a much higher price. Think use Porsche. Those things barely drop value from the original sales price, where you can have some vehicles from still 2011 still commanding high five figures, and you're like, wow, this really has held its value. The market has said it is valuable, it is desired, therefore its price reflects that. But the reality is, with the rise of single motherhood or single parenthood, where it's becoming almost commonplace, where we're trying to shame people that have navigated life and don't have children in early and later stages of life, they're now becoming the minority, or it's trying to make it seem like they are the minority. The market is still saying on in mass that this doesn't make you more viable to the market. Before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. Still doing two a day. So even if you don't get the notification, have some faith in me. There should be 2 videos posted a day, and hopefully 2 shorts, or at least 2 shorts posted a day. First video we started this channel in June-ish was about discipline, and we're trying to end that way, and this year the same way. So the membership is open up, and there will be a Patreon coming up in January, where we can talk about more things, where I can show more of what I do personally on my own journey, trying to make myself a better man. If you're interested in something like that, you feel free to jump on there. Um, but back to this video, we understand, right? That, and when we're being realistic, that women having children isn't the end all be all. There's not a rash of single moms that are just single or unattractive, or don't have the ability to garner attention. That's still the case. But when you have, I think what's often more repellent to people or potential those potential men that women say they're looking for is you want to command the highest price from the market, yet you are not understanding that you have to also have one of the highest values to get the commensurate price. This is just economics. If you don't have the money to purchase the high ticket product, you don't get it because you're doing better than you did before, because you have a healthier, more genuine mindset, a kinder mindset than you did in the past. The market doesn't really care much about the past. The market cares about right now in the present. Can you afford this? That's what's at play here. I think it's especially for people that going to people in the comment section, going to women in the comment section and trying to comment, say you're a single mom, you're single mom, you're single. Mom. Yeah, do we have videos here where we can highlight a lot of delusion that single moms are saying? I think there was one posted recently where she was saying, "Hey, I've got 2 car seats in the back, and those total like $1,000. So if you can't give me $1,500 off rip, then what do I need you for?" Yeah, that is what we're men are saying. Yeah, that's silly. That's delusion. So is not understanding where you are on the market. If you want to raise your standards, I encourage you to do that. If you're saying part of your low standards was accepting whatever your ex did in the past to give you low level energy and effort and intention, where you your value maybe was honest in a cent at your highest peak, just on the Texas market, you were valuable, and you, because you didn't understand that, you settled for less. Now at this later stage, you also don't understand that your value has changed again, and now it's maybe holding steady, or it's on a decline. You don't understand this, so you're always going to be left with this sort of disconnect. On one hand, you undervalued yourself at that point in your life. Now you're overvaluing yourself. Both places are going to find you out of pocket where you don't want to be. So the best bet is just being calm and simple and trying to understand things from the other point of view. When you understand a consumer, you can get the highest value out of them. You can extract the most money out of them. When you understand how to advertise to the consumer, you get more of their attention, you get more of their value. That's what this is. It's not very different from the Porsche analogy earlier. You understand how to make this the number one luxury brand in the world, and how to keep your prices steadily inflated without losing your customer base. That is the key. There's other women out here, that other single moms that do that splendidly. They understand that, one, it's not a competition with your former self, that your increase in value has to be reflective in your increase in personality, in the way you move. You have to, the way you understand and value men has changed. And it's not a hard thing to do. But once you don't, if you're not willing to give that an understanding a shot, you're shooting in the dark. And often you end up miscalculating your price, trying to charge a higher amount or too low of an amount like she did in the past. But if you disagree, of course, let me know down in the comments. I know sometimes these subjects could be a little sticky, but I think it's worth having the conversation, worth having the back and forth about. If you see videos on your screen right now, take a look at those. Let me know what you think about those and those videos as well. Give those a click, give those a look see. And of course, you listen to sound my voice right now, you haven't subscribed, probably a good time to do so. I'll see you in the next one.